Hi everyone, Bandanner here. I hope you're all doing well. So we finally have a new dev blog and a new patch for WARNO after the holiday that Eugen had been on during August, or at least a good chunk of them were on holiday. So we have a new Milestone Macdonald. What kind of goodies can you expect from this update? Well, a new British focused operation, plus new ranked optimized dual maps and a new variant of airport, as well as other bits and pieces. So first they want to do their usual historic primer. So today it's all about, I think it's pronounced Etanine Macdonald, who's not actually British, he's actually French, even though he sounds British. There you go. Macdonald has often been described as honest in comparison with some of the other more looting or art-selling French marshals. But loyal and very stern, he took good care of his men, even though he was a strict disciplinarian. And there was little fun and diversion to be had under his command. Enlisted before the French Revolution, Macdonald rose to the ranks in those tumultuous years. By 1800, he was a top lieutenant in General Maudu's employ, who was a direct competitor to the ambitious Napoleon Bonaparte. As history has made pretty clear, Maudu lost the political battle, which subsequently left Macdonald out of service. This changed in 1809, when Austria declared war on France, with Napoleon and most of the Grande Army campaigning in Spain. A new army in Germany needed to be raised double quick. To help command this force, Macdonald was brought back, with impressive battlefield successes first in Italy and later in Austria, especially during the Battle of Wagram. Macdonald received prestigious dignity of Marshal bestowed in the field, the only one of its kind. Our commander continued further service in Spain, campaigns in Germany, where he had to swim across the Elster River, Leipzig, after the bridge had been blown up too early, and then further in 1814 in France proper. An intensely loyal man, he remained at the side of Napoleon until the latter officially relieved him of his oath when he went into exile. Having then pledged allegiance to the new French king, Macdonald, true to his word as he was, took up arms against his former commander-in-chief when Napoleon returned in 1815. Even so, the troops under Macdonald's command, when he tried to rouse them to action against Napoleon, politely refused, instead arresting Macdonald. He was asked by his subordinates to leave, which he did, joining the French king in exile. After Napoleon's second defeat, Macdonald was restored to military, where he served the Bourbon king until his retirement, dying of old age in 1840. Okay, history lesson over, let's move on to the Macdonald milestone features. They do a little intro here, but I think how they've phrased this is poor, so I'm just going to move on. So the milestone will include the British operation Hold Until Relieved. I highly recommend you check it out, it's a pretty good operation. A new ranked play, optimized dual variants of existing maps, Black Forest Duel, Death Row Duel and Vertigo Duel, and a new 3v3 variant of the airport map. Operation Hold Until Relieved. This is the new operation, it's British focused. In this scripted single player mission, the British Army of the Rhine, the BAOR, on the boundary between Sentag and Northag is fighting a determined rearguard battle against the invading Warsaw Pact. For reinforcements to come from staging points further west, time needs to be bought on the battlefield. Forward deployment elements of the British First Corps are hard pressed as the Warsaw Pact takes Kessel and the nearby Warburg. The British 33rd Armoured Brigade at Paderborn, part of the 3rd Armoured Division, deploys quickly as possible. A screening battalion from the Queen's Own Highlanders, dug in behind the Demel River, has been badly mauled but continues holding the line. In Hold Until Relieved, the player takes control of a small tank detachment from the Blues and Royals Regiment, equipped with heavy hitting and heavily armoured Challenger tanks. They are sent to Demel River to reinforce the infantry and defend against a renewed offensive of the Soviet VDV's 35th Guards Air Assault Brigade. With very limited forces, you need to beat back the VDV attack on your positions while trying to keep as many units as possible alive. If you succeed, some additional reinforcements become available, and the operation will enter its next stage. In the latter part of the battle, every man is expected to do their duty as you aim to destroy a Soviet forward operating base on the opposite bank of the Demel River. Other than that, there are also new dual maps. Firstly, there is a Black Forest dual map, there is a new Death Row dual map, and there is a Vertigo dual map. Again, these are based on 1v1s and will be in the ranked ladder. There is also a new version of Airport for Destruction and has some very large command zones. Next up, they mention the patch that is coming with this milestone, so they call it a massive gameplay patch part 1. Get ready, they say this is our biggest gameplay patch yet. We've been working on it all summer to bring it to you now. However, this patch will be delivered in 2 parts to give us more time, but also to take into account your feedback. Here are the elements that are ready now. Global adjustment of SMG, AR, BR, LMG, MMG and HMG. HMG penetration has been implemented, a global buff of explosions to be more in line with the area of effect, global adjustment of ground-to-ground air autocannons, improvement of aircraft maneuverability and flight autonomy, global adjustment of aircraft guns, overall adjustment of aircraft HE bombs, adjustment of mortars, howitzers and MLRS, and adjustment of unarmed recons to enhance their usefulness. Scheduled for the next patch will be adjustment of successive shot correction and shot dispersion for all weapons, a distinction between helicopter and aircraft armour to make it more realistic and better balanced, a complete rework of clusters with a clarified UI explanation, complete rework of the VET system with 4 chevrons accessible mainly via commanders, application of the same logic to Special Forces VET system, adjustment of the cohesion system, adjustment of the cover offered by buildings and forests, adjustment of all ATGMs, realistic and better balanced reload time, adjustment of all optics for improved vision, generalization of traits to offer more explanations to players, and adjustment of multiple traits, shock, GSR, reservist. In addition to this, you'll find over 300 pricing and availability modified and adjusted, and divisions revised and improved in terms of personality. Basically, there's a lot of changes overall. I expect they're going to get some potentially negative feedback about the current patch, because one of the things they've done is really slowed down autocannons, and I think they've gone a bit overkill on how much they've slowed it down, but I'm sure everyone will be able to give feedback on that. As far as the patch goes, the next patch actually sounds a lot better than this one, because it's changing a lot of stuff that I complain about. For example, the optics. You know, they're going to improve optics across the board, which is obviously a bit of a nightmare in the game, in my opinion. Thankfully, it looks like they're finally looking at that. Obviously, I think the VET system, the rework to that, adding 4 chevrons, that's quite a nice addition as well. So, looking forward to that. Guys, I'm not going to read through all of the patch notes. I think that would be absolutely bonkers. It's quite a long list. But I will just mention a few things. So first thing is, really pleased to see some changes to planes, especially to maneuverability more than anything else. Obviously a decrease in speed, except for the A-10 and Su-25, and the Harrier is also faster now. It gets a +5 bonus to its speed. Obviously the opposite to what everyone else is getting, basically, so that's really nice. Also, planes fly for longer. They have a better flight time. I think that's a really nice addition as well. We've mentioned, I think there, the whole autocannons are firing a bit slow now. I think that might go for further adjustment, as I think that's a little bit too slow. The addition of GSR to all of the exceptional optics vehicles is really nice. Maybe it'll make them more worthwhile now. Maybe they won't get destroyed quite as easily and they'll see a bit further. We'll see about that. I'm not sure. I do worry they'll still get blown up really easily, but who knows. And then the last thing to mention, I think, is probably the improvement to artillery. I really worry about the improvement to artillery and team games and 10v10s, because I think there's going to be a lot of issues there, and it might dominate even more than it does already. We'll have to see how that plays out over the next few days. But that is everything for this week's dev blog. Thank you everyone for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. I'll see you all soon for some more WARNO.